This is the second video in a new series featuring interviews of Arapahoe residents in 1971, conducted by the Arapahoe 4th through 6th grade students at the school. Along with their teachers, they interviewed elders of the community, all of whom were 70 to 80 plus years old at the time in 1971, 53 years ago. Many of those interviewed were direct descendants of early homesteaders in the area or early prominent business families in Arapahoe. Furthermore, almost every single person interviewed was born in either the 1880s or 1890s and offers some amazing insights into early Arapahoe history as well as the area. Some of the resident interviews are longer, lasting upwards of 30 minutes to an hour, while others are much shorter, only a few minutes long. I will be posting each interview separately, as I would like to add research including homestead records, photos, newspaper articles, obituaries, grave information, as well as other relevant records for each person interviewed. Today's video features a short 3 to 4 minute interview with Mr. Andy J. I will begin with a little background information on the family and its history, then I will play the interview, and then I will share additional information on Andy J's Arapahoe Electric Shoe Shop, as well as numerous newspaper references over the years to the family. Andrew L. J. or Andy J. is buried at the Arapahoe Cemetery and was born in 1907 and passed away in 1980 at the age of 72 or 73. He married Lucy Goetz in 1932 on June 27th, and to this union one child was born, Lyle Dean J., who lived from 1934 to 2000 and is buried in the Cambridge Cemetery. Andrew L. J. or Andy J. is buried right next to another Andrew L. J., born in 1834, passing away in 1920. He was married to Lurana J., who lived from 1844 to 1926. The elder Andrew L. J. is presumably the father, who was a Civil War veteran and a longtime Oddfellows member. However, the dates do not add up, as the elder Andrew L. J. would have been 73 years of age at the time of Andy's birth, and the mother Lurana would have been about 63 years of age at Andy's birth in 1907. The obituary of the elder Andrew J. mentions 4 kids surviving, being Fred, Cora, Anna, and Clifford J. Through some digging, I believe Clifford J. is likely the father of Andy J., and their Andrew L. J. buried next to Andy would be his grandfather. It appears that the elder Andrew L. J. took up homestead claims in Box Butte County in 1891 and 1892 northwest of Alliance. However, 15 years later, Andy J. was supposedly born in Lawrence in Nuckolls County, Nebraska. There is a James J. in Nuckolls County that had a homestead claim in 1881, but he passed before Andy would have been born. However, it does appear that by the year 1900, the elder Andrew L. J. and his wife Lurana had moved to nearby Fillmore County, adjacent to Nuckolls County, and in the 1900 census are listed with a 16-year-old son named Clifton. To back this up, I found this newspaper article from the Lawrence Locomotive in Nuckolls County, June 27, 1907, less than 10 days after the listed birth date for Andy J. It says, a son was born to Mr. and Mrs. Clifford J. on Tuesday. Assuming Clifford was short for Clifton, the son of the elder Andrew L.J., this would tie it in and confirm that the elder Andrew L.J. buried next to Andy is indeed his grandfather. Regardless, it appears that the elder J came to Arapahoe around the year 1905, and Andy J was born 2 years later in 1907. Andy J did not graduate from Arapahoe High School, so he either came here after graduating around 1925 or did not finish school and came here prior. Andy J was a well-known businessman in the community for many years, owning the Arapahoe Electric Shoe Repair Shop that he ran for over 30 years, from the 1930s into the 1970s. He was in several different locations over the years, primarily being on the east side of Nebraska Avenue at the former Hoyle Harness and Repair Shop, now occupied by M&B Insurance.
I started in, the little old building has been tore out of the location, just the first door south of the building I'm in now. And then I moved from that building, I moved down in where the dress shop is, down on the corner nearly. The second door, Irene, yes, Irene. And well, it was pretty slow. We seen dust broke from the north to south and south to north after that. And I was only in business just a few days, and the banks closed. And then they had the reopening. Some banks could open and some banks couldn't. Of course, one bank in Arapahoe never did open, and the other did. I believe I'm right on that.
Which bank did not open?
I don't remember what the name of it was, but it's down here in Maury M's corner now, where Maury M's is. And the Citizen State Bank reopened. And we didn't even have change.
Who opened the Citizen State Bank?
Mr. Emmett opened the Citizen State Bank.
Finch?
Yes, Finch Emmett. That's right.
What year?
That was 1933.
Have you ever had any problems in your store or that you got
There's
displaced?
always problems, you bet. Hard times, good times, and there was nothing but cheap shoes to sell for a while, and then of course some people had money, most people didn't.
How much did your shoes sell for?
Or we had shoes from I would say from $1.48 up to $12-14 those days. What do you think of that?
What kind of shoes were they? Wooden shoes or what?
There was a leather shoe. That was the day that the Panko sole was on a lot of shoes. They used to call it the Panko rubber sole, and that, of course, those would generally come out on cheap shoes. And the rubber soles have generally always been a cheaper shoe than the leather soles shoes have always been.
Well, thank you very much. We'll really need this a lot.
And, there's one thing about it. It got dry and hot, long about 33, 34, long in there, and we even took an egg out on the sidewalk in front of the shoe shop and busted it, and it was so hot the egg would turn white. And we had, I would say, my guess would be close to 100 to 119 degrees some of those years. And then 104 and stuff like that would be very, very common. And we had grasshoppers to go across, and the sun wouldn't be very bright. It looked like a cloud. Did anybody ever tell you about that?
What year was this?
About the 33 and 4 and 5, about the grasshoppers and the dust of blowing.
Yeah, we've heard about those.
And of course that's the truth. It really happened. And then you take the years were awful hot. Some of those years are terrible hot. And we'd go to work and we'd fix up air conditioning fans to blow the cold air through the basements up into the shop, so we could stay in the shop. It was that hot. And then finally, long about 36, 7, it started getting a little better.
Another great interview, this time with an elder businessman in the community over 53 years ago. Lastly, to conclude this video, I will include additional newspaper references to Andy J., his family, and his store in chronological order over the years. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more.
you.